Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and oh boy, we got some spicy spoilers still coming at you from Duskmourn, House of Horrors. First up, Nashi Cha-Cha de Lombre. Now, Lombre, you might not know, is actually a Pokemon. He evolves into Ludicolo, famous for screaming his name really weirdly in the Detective Pikachu movie. Now, the translation is just as sketch as it was in the last video, but should say Shadow Seeker. Now, he tends to run away from the shadows. He's just there to get Tamio's, scrolls, memories, research, I don't remember, something like that. And the last time we saw him, he was a rat ninja, and now he's a rat ninja wizard. Interesting. Now, on another card, he was rat shaman. Shaman and wizard are really two different classes, but I could talk about that for 6 hours. Anyway, did he get possessed and go evil? Let's find out. So, legendary creature, rat ninja wizard, 1 blue, 1 black, 2/2. And he has menace, so that's usually on like really dangerous, menacing creatures. Now, he did have menace on another card though, in the past. But each time he deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. You may put any number of legendary and or enchantment cards from among those milled into your hand. If you don't, put a 1/1 counter on him. What's he collecting? What's he doing? He doing some necromancy? Is that what he's up to? And worst of all, now he's French. I don't even know what to do with that detail. I didn't think you could make being French even worse, but then, Canada. Speaking of Canada, we got Marvin, Murderous Mimic. 2 cost 2/2 legendary artifact creature toy. Marvin Murderous Mimic has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. I mean, obviously, I don't need to tell you, that could be pretty good. Next up, we got another special frame with the special cathode ray tube technology that they somehow invented. Do they have a Radio Shack? Do they have broadcasting towers? Do they have Netflix? If they do, I guarantee I can tell you what caused all this. Anyway, it's an uncommon instant. Black, single black though, 3 cost. Destroy target creature or enchantment, you lose 2 life. Yep, black enchantment removal is back. Because it went so well last time, this time you get to directly target it. I mean, I'm not saying the set doesn't need it, but man, if they just take the color pie and just eat it and then forget what it said, then you apparently get this set. And CRT televisions and electricity. Next up, we got Pepperoni, aka Enduring Courage. It's a 4 cost double red enchantment creature, Dog Glimmer 3/3. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. That's right, Hammer of Perforos in enchantment doggo form. And when Enduring Courage dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's now an enchantment and not a creature. And still gives other creatures entering the battlefield +2/+0. So these glimmers were supposed to be like just super weapons that just take everything in the way and just rip it apart. And you can't really get rid of them, like the evil can't touch them fully. So, yeah, I'm getting those vibes. I think they might have gone a little far with it, but, this is cool because doggo. So next up we got another room. It's Grand Entryway and Elegant Rotunda, 2 cost and 3 cost. On the left we've got, when you unlock this door, create a 1/1 white glimmer enchantment creature token. Oh, that's right, the token glimmers aren't anything too special, but hey, enchantment ETB counts as creatures. Then we got the 3 cost. It's when you unlock this door, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 creatures. Ooh. Yeah, white is just White Weenie Blitz in the set, but they kind of forgot that also making white really, really fast while giving it universal removal, flying, other combat tricks, first strike, double strike, life gain, then on top of it also mega Wilds of Eldraine enchantment tribal. Yeah, white's going to dominate, except that blue's going to just cancel everything they do and just bring out rooms until they win, or mill them to death with unblockable bullshit. Get ready for the worst standard meta you've ever seen, and they can't do anything about it until next July. Next up, finally we get to see the floating eye. It's Abhorrent Oculus. Ah, yes, I see you've also read the Oculus reviews. So it's a 3 cost 5/5 because of course it is, and as an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 6 cards from your graveyard, very easy to do in blue, flying, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, manifest dread on your side. I felt like I should point that out. This is pretty powerful. It ain't coming out early game, but it's pretty powerful. Yeah, they're just going to stack the graveyard and then resurrect this for free or free caster, clone it or some other bullshit. Anyway, next up we got Velvagoth's Onslaught, one of the last rares. It's 1 green plus X, manifest dread X times. Then put X11 counters on each of those creatures, so they are not going to be 2/2s, and when you flip them up, they do not leave the battlefield, so they keep those counters. And this isn't a story spotlight card for some reason, even though the flavor text is Tyvek House Wrap and the Wanderer, we're done running. Oh, by the way, the Wanderer's here too. And yeah, she's here to whoop some ass. They basically said that in the video. They're like, she is OP as balls. She's just going to come in and start cracking skulls. I'm all for it. I'll be honest with you. I think her, I don't know too much about like her backstory and personality, but just the idea of her and how she works and how much ass she kicked in the Bolus arc. Her and Kaya are like super badass. They've got the coolest abilities, I'm just saying. Like Chandra, she gotta be like 25 at this point and she acts like a teenager. Just drama queen, annoying, and ooh, I light stuff on fire. Yeah, so does 1/5 of the cards. Like, get over it. You ain't special. Kaya, the freaking daggers that kill ghosts and she can like phase through walls and shit. Like, come on. The Wanderer, like unstable, weird spark. What's that about? I don't remember if she still has it. Who knows? Nobody reads the story anymore. But she got that crazy sword and can just like kill anybody with it. Come on. Tyvar, he's an elf. What does he do? I don't know. Who cares? I hate elves. Anyway, if you didn't catch it during the video, so in other words, let me just tell you, Valgavoth is an insect demon. So he molts his skin, shrinks, and then grows again, which literally is the opposite of molting. But okay, I guess they don't, really do science out in Seattle, which specifically biology, that actually makes perfect sense now that I think about it. Now let me just direct you to the next card, Coordinated Clobbering, where we've got Zimone and Tyvek House Wrap. Does that mean Zimone dies? I hope so, because I hate geometry. The only math class I got a B in. So it's a 1-cost sorcery, tap 1 or 2 target untapped creatures you control. They each deal damage equal to their power to target creature and opponent controls. So you do lose access to them, and, sorcery speed, so it has to be on your turn. But yeah, you can really drop a nuke on something with no fear of repercussions. And somehow, this is a story spotlight card. So, just looking at the art, did she teach him geometry magic? My guess is probably not. Let's read. Zimone's theory was that the fractalization of atmospheric ether would increase kinetic energy. Tyvek's theory was that if you hit cultists in the face really hard, they would fall down. They were both right. Maybe I do like him. Now, Desolator's theory is why the hell do they have televisions, which isn't really a theory technically, but I'm working on it. Next up, found footage. Sure, if you got TVs, you might as well have cameras. Do you guys know what goes into making magnetic tape? Do you even have any idea how that works? The level of technology? I'm just saying. They better pull a Battlestar Galactica and be like, haha, actually the plane was Earth. Oh, sorry, spoilers for like 15 years ago. This is such bullshit. I literally only put this in so I could complain about it. Anyway, what does it do? 1-cost artifact clue. Okay, that's weird. You may look at face-down creatures your opponents control anytime. Okay. A 1-drop that does that. That's kind of cool. And then pay 2, sack it, surveil 2, and draw a card. Okay, if you found the footage, first of all, how is it on? How is it receiving power? Let's just start with that. Secondly, you found the footage, but it's in that condition. You ain't gonna be watching shit. You gathered 0 information from that tape. And how you gonna watch the tape if every single TV screen I've seen so far got some kind of demon girl crawling out of it? Okay, like it just falls apart. Next up, we've got Unable to Scream, which I assume is a reference to I have no mouth and I must scream. It's a 1 blue enchantment aura, and it's a common. Keep that in mind. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a toy artifact creature with base power and toughness 0-2 in addition to its other types. As long as enchanted creature is face down, it can't be turned up. So no unmanifesting, I don't remember what they called it this time, but manifesting a creature. And it's a 0-2 with no abilities. It can still block, but like for 1 blue mana, that creature is pretty much gone. It is out of the fight. You don't care about it. This is like Turn to Frog on steroids. I love it. Unfortunately, blue is already too damn powerful, but in a draft, I'm not sure. I think that might go to constructed, though. Next up, we got Arabella, which is definitely not Annabelle, Abandoned Doll. By the way, don't tell nobody, okay? Don't tip them off, but on my bucket list, light that bitch up. Not like I don't know where she's at. You can haunt these nuts. I got gasoline in a match. Anyway, white-red 1/3 legendary artifact creature toy. Whenever Definitely Not Annabelle attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. Ooh, a Flood Blitz card that includes red. I didn't consider the red portion of the White Weenie Blitz. I guess those are supposed to go together and she's going to be the one leading them. Oh boy, that life gain. You could just Suicide Blitz if you got the cards to keep her going, you know? And you could just, generate 3 rabbits, you know? Don't forget Duskmourn, which also had White Weenie Blitz. Red Mouse Double Strike. Oh, we're in for some turn 3 with this shit. I guarantee it. Next up. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Aliens in the house, and not just any aliens, German ones. Now the card says Angst vor Entführung. Good lord, you gotta take a running start at these. Entführung. I don't know enough about German to know that that's not correct, but that means fear of abduction. So if you're in Germany, don't get Entführung. So they're typically called the Greys, but in Germany they're actually called Das Elemaos, sometimes pronounced as Elemaus. I've heard both. And now this is canon in the Magic universe. Great. So, 6 cost Verzauberungskrut. What the hell? It's like a cooking show, Germany. You got the word all set for us. Enchantment creature. You just had that prepared ahead of time. Why? For what purpose? How? When did that come up? You got a lot of those in Germany? You got a lot of enchantment creatures? I have so many questions. And I'm German. It's also a Nachtmar, or Nightmare. And as an additional cost to cast this spell, exile a creature you control, flying. When Fear of Abduction enters the battlefield, exile target creature opponent controls, and when it leaves the battlefield, return each creature exiled with it to their owner's hands, I assume, with PTSD. Also, it's a 5/5. That's right, the Greys show up to Magic the Gathering, and they're not even that great. Next up, we've got Verkultes Feuer and Gekrumter Raum. You know what? Yeah, as Germans can do that once per 24 hours. It's our racial ability. Look it up in the guidebook. It's Charred Feuer and Warped Space. So it's a mythic red 4 and 6 cost, so this is gonna be good. Left side is at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Okay, I mean, that's fine. And then Warped Space, once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast from exile. Oh boy, we got a high priority target here. It's basically mono red Omniscience, except it basically has to be the one you pulled. I mean, you could do a nothing but red exile free cast deck. That'd be kind of fun. Well, not free cast, you can cast deck. I think this is the first one that says you can free cast it. Actually, I feel like I'm wrong about that. Anyway, next up, it's Fear of Being Hunted, which is exactly what all of the creepy crawly big bads would have on this plane if me and my Pro 2A ass showed up. So it's a 3-cost double red 4/2 with haste, and Fear of Being Hunted must be blocked if able. Oh, spicy. 3's a little late for Red Rush, I'll be honest with you. But next up, we've got Fear of Falling. It's a 5-cost, wow. Blue 4/4, enchantment creature Nightmare Flying, and when it attacks, target creature defending player controls gets -2, -0, and loses flying until the next turn. Kinda underwhelming, but that's fine from blue at this point. Next up, Fear of Surveillance. It's a 2-cost 2/2 and white with Vigilance, and when Fear of Surveillance attacks, who would have thought? Surveil 1. Next up, we got Piggy Bank. I missed this one in the last video. It's a 2-cost red 3/2 artifact toy, boar toy, or whatever, you know what it says. When Piggy Bank dies, create a treasure token. Once again, from the Department of What Did You Expect? Oh, and the flavor text is, remember when you smashed me for a little pocket money? To which I would respond, 1, pull the trigger, and secondly, have you seen the economy? Anyone but Kamala 2024. Next up, we've got Private Office and Lecture Hall, maybe. It's 2 generic plus white, and then on the other side, 5 generic and double blue. Very odd. When you unlock the left door, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Okay. And then Lecture Hall, all other permanents you control have hexproof, which I believe you used to be able to do for like 3 or 4 mana in green. Thanks, stupid werewolf bitch. It almost seems underwhelming to do it for 7 now, even though that is what that should cost. Next up, we finally get to see the derpy-looking guy, Reluctant Role Model. He's a 2-cost 2/2 with Creature Human Survivor, obviously. In Survival, at the beginning of your second main phase, if he is tapped, put a Flying Lifelink or +1/+1 counter on it. How did he learn to fly? Don't ask me. And then whenever he or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to one target creature. Ooh. Well, I think that's it. Somehow the order of the cards got really messed up. I blame Windows 11, but hey. What can you do? I think there are a couple more spoilers coming, so subscribe if you don't want to miss them. And boy, buckle up for this train wreck, because we about to see some stuff when this goes live. Holy crap. I might pre-build these decks on paper. I've got some that will absolutely crush. Stay tuned for that to your television that shouldn't exist in this plane, and I'll see you guys next time.